Well, happy Mother's Day. It's a snowy Sunday here in Wisconsin, so nothing fun going out there. So I've been working on this 53. As you know, I was rewiring it, and some stuff in life really ticks me off, and this is probably one of them. People who don't know how to wire. So this is one of the front marker lights I just took out, and this is how they got it rigged up. They got a late model socket, which, okay, cool. But that just sits there and jiggles around, so eventually that'll break the bulb, and this janky. It's got a broken stud on it, I'll have to fix that, no big deal. Then it's got the usual splices, but at least those are soldered, so I'm okay with that. This end, not so much better. Oh, but it gets better. Let's see here. I love it when people, just get a bigger butt connector and jam more wires in it. Yeah, that's a great idea. Why do you do that? Most of it was wrapped in duct tape. That works good for electrical connectings. Then we got this one here. This one was kind of cool. So this here was a feed. Not sure for what. Most of this wiring was chopped up before I got the car. But then they just kind of twisted the wires around to that other wire. Not even the same gauge. So yeah, that's not soldered. It's just sitting there. I could probably pull it apart, just like that. And that was just duct taped. That's awesome. I love it. And we got this one here. Let's see. Now there's another one that's just twisted together. It had black electrical tape on it though. That was high tech. That's awesome. The other socket from the other side. That's just, just keep splicing wires together. Just twist them together. Yep. This one they soldered. Someone took time and soldered that one. That might be a factory solder. I don't think this guy soldered anything. Then we got this, wire is so expensive nowadays. It's hard to, put wire, buy a piece of wire. So we'll just, string together a bunch of them. That's awesome, And then make sure you leave a bunch of it sticking out, so that'll short out on something because that's what we want. This wasn't the ground. This was positive. This was a gauge power. I ripped all that out. Yes. This one is my all-time favorite. And this did come out of this car. About 4 years ago. That's my buddy's car. He bought it this way. He didn't do it this way. But car kept dying on him. Just shut off. Let it sit for a little bit, start back up, and he'd drive again. So I came down to this place and we're looking it over, and starts the car starts right up, no problem. I started pulling on the harness and it died. Like, okay. Well, this went from the starter, and this was a butt connector. This was all spliced together, but this was from starter to bad alternator. And then what they did to feed the car is they just twisted that wire around this wire, and it was taped together, and that's what fed from the battery to the car, essentially. So fixed all that, and the car never died after that, but that was when I first learned how messed up this car really was, electrical wise. So right now I got the engine pretty much all done. That's all hooked up. I got a couple ground cables, the main battery ground, and a couple to the frame, to the body. Wiper motor, I got plugged that in. Most of the stuff in the front's going together. It just takes forever, solder and heat shrink and cut and tape this. I gotta clean up a little bit. I already rebuilt this light. This light was all funky and messed up and had 6 wires spliced together. Headlights were okay, so I'm not gonna redo them. Redoing enough stuff on this car. The dash is pretty much all hooked up. I gotta do the ignition switch and the dimmer switch. Otherwise, it's all hooked up, ready to go. Gauges, all the lights, even a high beam indicator. Got the dome light working. Had to take all the switches apart, redo them. They were all seized up. So, getting there. Tail lights will be the next mess. I see this is just a hodgepodge. Probably have to cut all that out and start over in there too. But yeah, electrical. What I'm going to do to fix this marker light. So I got these El Cheapo lights you get at the auto parts store. Not a particular fan of them, but that's all you can really buy at the moment. I am not going to use these wires. These are getting yanked out. I'm going to put the correct color codes in. And you can buy the little ends for that. So I'm going to do it the right way. I'm not going to, you know, splice that together with another splice and another splice. And no, we're not doing that. So yeah, that's my rant for today. I hate it when people pretend like they know how to wire. Sort of like when I hate it when people pretend to know how to weld. That's another subject. That's it. Later, guys.